It is beautiful Tuesday on the outside, feeling like a little fall, but that's okay. You have stepped into Sunshine's Corner, and we've got a great show lined up for you as always. Remember, when you step in each and every weekday morning from 9 until 10, we are totally about the community. We are going to be your community connection, and when we say that, we're going to keep you entertained, informed, and most certainly going to have you smiling. And I want to say thank you for all that are listening, those that are reaching out to me and giving me so much encouragement about what we're doing now to make another step to take it even further. First of all, I got to give all the glory to God, but I thank you so very much for all of your support and everybody that's telling me how great they're enjoying the show. Thank you for that. But today, we have a fantastic guest that's in the studio with us that's going to be talking with us about some very, very important issues. I'm talking about April is Autism Awareness Month. We have in the studio with us today Dr. Machelle Grier Hall, and I just want to say thank you, doctor, for taking the time to come by and be here with us today so we can share this powerful information.
Thank you so much, Sunshine, and congratulations on this wonderful show. So happy for you. You're doing such amazing things in the community. So thank you and congratulations, and thank you for having me.
Oh, but of course, and thank you. Everybody, I'm pretty sure we all know that Dr. Grier Hall has been, you are a Pensacolian.
I am.
And she brought her practice back to Pensacola.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that beautiful?
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking about. Now, you are with Community Health now, right?
I am.
Well, tell us a little bit about Dr. Grier Hall.
Well, I am a Pensacola native. I went to Booker T. Washington High School, class of '89. I went off to college at Xavier University, New Orleans. I finished there summa cum laude and went to medical school over in South Alabama, in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
Came back home, did my pediatric residency training right at Sacred Heart Hospital.
Wow.
2 weeks after I graduated from my residency program, I opened my own private practice because I stepped out on faith and said, you know what? Why not? You know,
exactly,
God has me, and the community has me, and my family and everyone in the community supported me. So I opened First Steps Pediatrics in 2000 and 2012. Joined Community Health Northwest Florida, a federally qualified healthcare clinic, and they do a lot in the community taking care of those who are underserved. And I've been with them since 2012.
Oh, wow. So now you said your private practice, and so you have both?
Well, when I joined Community Health Northwest Florida, I went under their umbrella, and so I closed my private practice, and I was a satellite location for Community Health Northwest Florida starting in 2012.
Okay. And you know, Doctor, I also think back, I got to stop saying Dr. Grier.
No,
I've done that so
you're
long.
Fine.
You know,
Everybody does
Dr.
it.
Grier Hall.
You're fine. My husband would appreciate that.
Oh, there you go. He said, yeah. But listen to this. Okay, you did a lot when it was with COVID too.
Oh yes, when COVID broke out. Wow, you talking about, there was a lot, and our CEO, Chandra Smiley, asked me to step in and take the lead as our clinical lead for our COVID incident management team. And so I helped to lead our efforts to make sure our patients were safe, our community was safe, our staff, you know, to make sure we were doing what we needed to do as a community to provide those resources, vaccines and PPE and those things that we needed during that awful time, and we made it.
We made it because at one time.
I know.
My God.
It was
tough.
It was very tough. We lost a lot of lives.
Yes, we did.
Everyone lost someone they know close to them, and so that was a time we don't want to go back to.
You got that right.
Yes.
So we're talking about COVID, now, then we'll get back to that. But is there, even with that we've come this far?
We have.
With me, now this is just I put in for my synopsis, I said it's going to be just like the flu every year.
It is, and you're exactly right. COVID is not going away.
It's not going away.
It's going to be here, and we're still seeing cases. They're milder than what they were, but we're still seeing cases in kids and adults, and so it's not ever going away.
I don't think so.
But if we protect ourselves and get vaccinated.
That's right.
Get vaccinated.
Absolutely.
That is so important. If we protect ourselves, just like we do with the flu,
that's right,
we'll be okay. We will survive this.
We will. And you know, and I want to encourage, because there's so many people that didn't even get the vaccination.
I know.
Now that's the part that hurts.
That's the part that hurts.
Because
because you could have prevented.
I would always say this, and never profess to be a doctor, but I did say, I said, look, when the kids go to school, You have to get a vaccination?
You do.
Do you know what's in that vaccine?
Nope. You
But
get
you
it.
get the shot, right?
You get it because they need it.
They need it.
They need it, and vaccines are safe. Vaccines
Yeah.
will protect us from so many diseases, and there are things that are trying to make a comeback because
Absolutely.
people are not getting vaccinated.
That's exactly right.
And so we don't want those
No,
diseases
we
to
do
come
not.
back. And
No,
so
we do
why
not.
even take the risk? Get vaccinated.
That's right.
Your children, adults need vaccines, and it's just so important to make sure that we're vaccinating our community.
No doubt about it. I thank you for all the hard work because I know
Thank
that you were
you.
doing so many things about that. But now we're going to come back to the topic that we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
Now, but I want to encourage everybody. Now, if you've got questions that you would like to address to Dr. Grier, Dr. Grier Hall, that you can do, Mr. Hall, I'm breaking the habit, okay? But what I want you to do now, you can be a part of the show. You can call us up at 854-432-7768, or you can text that number, and we've got questions for Dr. Grier Hall. You can find out today right here. So please be a part of the show. Now, let's talk about April being Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
I know that that's true to your heart.
It is.
I mean, and I know there's so much information you want to share because people sometimes get the wrong concept.
They do. And I did not fully understand autism until I had a child with autism. I'm not going to say I learned everything I needed in
Right.
my medical training about this disorder because I didn't.
Right.
There may have been a paragraph, if anything, on it. But now we know, and now so many studies have shown what autism is, and so we are able to screen for it. We're able to
Really?
identify it in our patients, and the earlier you're able to actually diagnose it, you can actually intervene and get that child the help that they need. And so it is something that's near and dear to my heart because I'm a mom of a child, my
Yes.
sweet Noah. He's taught me more than I've ever could have known about autism, and I'm thankful because now I'm able to hopefully help provide better care for my
Absolutely.
patients that I see in my office who have autism.
Absolutely. You said something that it gives you, when you learn this, you know what to watch for.
Right.
How to identify.
Right, and it is something you have to know, and parents, we encourage, first of all, parents to make sure they're coming in for those well checkups. Do not just come in for your child when they get sick. We want to see them for
Okay.
those well checkups because that's when we're doing the screenings.
Okay.
Especially at that 18-month well checkup. We're screening with an autism screening called an MCHAT, and that's a questionnaire where we're asking specific questions. Is your child doing this? Is your child doing that? And that screening helps us to identify those children who may have autism, and then
Okay.
we send them to get a more in-depth evaluation done
Okay.
if they screen positive on that test. But there are specific symptoms that every parent needs to be aware of, especially with the child's ability to communicate.
Right.
And they have, unfortunately, problems with social reciprocity in terms of talking back and forth in
I understand.
conversations. They have, this is a neurodevelopmental disorder that also impacts their behavior, where sometimes they have repetitive behaviors.
Okay.
They instead of rolling the car, they'll play with the wheel on the car.
Okay.
They have restricted behaviors where they don't do well with changes in their routine. They don't adapt well, and sometimes will have meltdowns, and sometimes they'll what we call stimming. They'll rock back and forth.
Okay.
And they're doing that because either they're overstimulated or understimulated, but how they perceive things in the community, stimuli in the community, are different from how we perceive it. So,
wow.
So there are specific signs and symptoms, in addition to the communication problems, in addition to not being able to interact in social situations like most people can, and then those repetitive behaviors and restricted behaviors and stemming that we see, and I'm almost able to tell after being in a room with a patient 10 seconds, is this a child?
Really?
Yes, and it's because I'm living with
Of
a
course,
child
you got
who,
your son,
since 18
right.
months. So I can tell pretty quickly, if I'm concerned that this child, is on the spectrum. They tend to have more temper tantrums. They don't do just a regular temper tantrum.
I understand.
Their tantrums are a lot more severe, more often than most children. And so when we see specific signs, we want to make sure we identify and then get that child child tested early, and we're testing as early as 18 months, but I can tell you, I knew before 18 months that.
Did you really?
Yes, and most parents know something's not quite right. They don't play with other children like most children. They would rather play by themselves instead of interacting with other children.
Okay.
And the word autism itself comes from the Greek word auto. Auto refers to self. They're more into themselves.
Okay.
They don't want to engage in communication. They don't want to play with other children because they don't know how. They don't have the skills to do that.
I understand.
But once we identify them, we can get them that help they need to teach them
Absolutely.
how to socialize, to
Most
teach,
certainly.
speech therapy to help them with their communication needs. And so there's so many things we can do to help those parents
Absolutely.
if we do know that child has autism.
All right. So parents, if you're there and you're not sure,
Right.
don't just sit there and guess.
Right.
Because there are ways that you can help your child and help yourself. I mean, because educate yourself.
Educate yourself. You have to be an advocate for your child. And if your doctor says, oh, they're fine, and you know something's not right, go with your gut feeling. You know your child better than anyone. And if something is not quite right, and most likely that parent is correct, and we want to investigate that and find out exactly what's going on, because most parents know
When something
early on,
you know your
yeah,
children.
you know your child.
Always.
Always.
You know that.
You know him.
Well, is there sometimes parents don't want to acknowledge maybe
That's true.
there that
And
the child
that
has
is very
autism?
true. It is not something any parent wants to hear. I can tell you personally, we didn't want to hear that. I knew it as a pediatrician early. Something, he didn't give the eye contact that most children get.
Right.
He wasn't laughing and and cooing
Right.
even as an infant. So I knew.
Really?
Yes. I mean, within the first year, I knew something's not right with my Noah. And we kept monitoring. I was like, let's get the evaluation. And of course, the evaluation confirmed my.
Of course.
But we never want to say it. But
You have to acknowledge so
have
give the
to.
child
You
the help.
Yes.
Is there sometimes you run into parents who say, I'm just asking things off the
you're fine. No, you're
I mean,
fine.
sometimes if they're, you notice it, you know it, you don't want to accept it, but you'll say, no, he's just doing that. He's just doing that, or she's just doing that.
I'm able to recognize parents who have concerns, but they don't want to say
Accept
it yet.
Okay.
I think the earlier we say the word autism, because until you call it something, you're just saying he's just not right. But when you put the word out there, and I feel as a pediatrician, that's my responsibility to say, I'm concerned your child may have autism.
Right.
Because now that parent has a diagnosis, they can attach to these behaviors that they're seeing. But I don't always say it at that first visit.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll say, Mom, I have some concerns, and I see if this is maybe not the right visit. They came in for ear pain.
You're preparing them.
But I'm preparing them, like, let's talk more about this. Let's do another screening when he comes in next time. But sometimes you do have to talk with them a little bit longer and bring them along. And I'm able to recognize, let's talk more. I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Have you come back in a few weeks? Have dad come with you, because sometimes they need that support.
But of
Sometimes,
course.
when you have mom, I like both parents to come in so I can talk with them, or both caretakers to come in so I can talk with them together.
Okay.
Because sometimes one parent already is on board, the other parent is not.
Right.
And so when we can get everybody together as one care team, we can do a better job providing the care that child needs.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm listening and I just hear you. I mean, but there are other areas where people can go
Yes.
to get the help.
Yes, definitely. And there are so many community resources now.
Oh, really?
Yes. I mean, for parents, for children, we of course want them to get the diagnosis, and there's a
don't
specific-
self-diagnose.
No, don't self-diagnose. You can think there may be something, we call it
But
possible.
get the professionals.
But get the professional. There's an actual screening a professional can do to diagnose it. But once we know, we can put them into the therapies they need. There's behavioral therapy. We encourage them to get into support groups, Autism Pensacola Autism Center, Miracle League, which my son was in Miracle League, and it's for children, neurodiverse children,
Right.
or children with special needs, where it gives them an outlet where they just go out there and have fun and play. It's baseball, but they don't really play baseball.
Exactly.
Noah never hit a ball, but he had the best time just running around the bases. And of course, I always encourage, safety with these children and making
Most
sure,
certainly.
because that's our worry, because they don't perceived fear. And water safety is the biggest thing for patients with autism, because they love water. They seek water. My son, if he sees a thing, he's gonna go and jump in, and he is ready. Can't swim a lick, but
he said, "But Mama, I see that water.
I see that water. I'm gonna go get in it. I don't care. They don't have any fear." So we really encourage them to make sure the safety components are in place. And so we, the Scambia Search and Rescue has a Project Lifesaver where these children can get a bracelet, because they tend to wander. They tend to, go off, and we want to make sure we can find them if ever they do that.
That they need.
Exactly.
Everybody, we're getting so much information. This is Dr. Grier Hall that's in with us today, and we're going to come back and give you more information. I want to encourage you to be a partner. If you've got questions for her, 850-432-7768, or you can text us right here at Blab TV.
There are many reasons someone may need in-home care, whether it may be respite care, them recovering from surgery, or having a chronic condition. Having someone dedicated and reliable is imperative. Supplemental Support Care Services was created to provide to those who are in need with quality care that they deserve in the home. Taking it a step further, our main goal is to ensure that Supplemental Support Care Services is where the love and care is top priority.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
And good morning again, everybody. Welcome back, because this is so much information that's coming out today. We've got Dr. Grier Hall in with us, talking about the importance of autism knowledge.
Yes.
It's so utterly important. Well, Dr. Hall, listen to this. First of all, we've got a text that came in, got a question for
wonderful.
you. And it says, thanks for hosting this segment on autism today. Are there any support groups for parents within our community that you recommend?
Yes, Autism Pensacola and the Sacred Heart Autism Clinic, they have support groups for patients and, of course, for the actual parents with autism, and I highly recommend. They have a monthly support group. There's a couple of places that provide ABA therapy here in town that actually have support groups, within their centers. And so the parents that attend those centers get on a monthly support group. And so there are some support groups. A lot of them are done through telehealth, virtual. Some of them are in person. I know some of them have social Saturdays, where on Saturdays, come bring your children up so they can play together. The parents can talk and chat, because sometimes just talking with another parent, it can help, because they may be doing something to help that child sleep better that you didn't think about. Because a lot of times they will all have similar symptoms. They may be different, degrees, and that's why it's a spectrum, because you have those that are mild, those are moderate, and those that are more severe. But, for the most part, many of them have the same symptoms, and that sharing of information, it makes you think, I'm not by myself in this.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where you like, okay, I may not have gotten everything I need, but I got the support I needed, and someone heard me, and someone understood.
Exactly. Now, with you being there with community health and with the autism, if they want to contact you,
yes, come. I have a lot of patients with autism, and I think it's just word of mouth.
Right.
The community is like, go see Dr. Grier, go see Dr. Grier. And I don't mind seeing patients with autism. And those patients, of course, we like to give them a little bit more time, because we want to get to know the families and talk about, what do you need? What can I do for you today, Mom? Because sometimes they just need to vent. Sometimes they just need to, really vent, because they're not able to get a job because their child can't go into.
But of course, they need the attention at home.
Right. They just need to be able to talk with someone about, what their concerns are and what are the obstacles they're having. So,
and, sometime in our community, I'll say this, and with your being a resident of Pensacola, and even when I spoke your name that you were going to be my guest, even one of the ladies here, she said, "Oh no, I know her." I mean, but they might feel better talking to you, and that's why I said that, because I want to encourage everybody. Now, if you want to get in touch with Dr. Grier, she's there at Community Health.
I'm with Community Health on Airport Boulevard.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so been in that location, since 2006. I hope to be there many, many more
years.
Will. I will. For another 15 years. So that's part of the joy of watching children, of course, grow up. And then I'm seeing some of the second generation, so I'm seeing those that I used to take care of. They're bringing their children in.
Absolutely, absolutely. So don't fear that. Make sure you just call up and get the information that you need. And please, now, if there are other questions or other text messages, you know what to do. 850-432-7768. 432-7768. You can text or call, and we can get you on the phone. That's Dr. Hall, whatever you need to know right about now.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And we were talking, because even Jen came in. She said, what can we tell them about the I think she said the resources and stuff like that, right?
Yes, the resources and the therapies and the treatment. Because a lot of the children will have may have some trouble with communication. Maybe it's a speech delay, or just they may have echolalia, where they're repeating everything you say, but they're not having, back and forth conversation. And so the therapies can help with that. They may have trouble with fine motor skills. We put them in occupational therapy to help if they're having trouble with handwriting. They may have sometimes where they're having gross motor skills, and so we use physical therapy for that. ABA therapy helps with those meltdowns. It helps so that they're not having as many of those meltdowns, and the parent knows how to manage those meltdowns and hopefully prevent those meltdowns when the child gets overstimulated.
Are there different levels?
Yes. There are, and it's a spectrum. There's an umbrella of autism, and so you have those that are mild, and there are a lot of people with autism out there, and they've always been out there, but we always were like, they're just a little bit different, in terms of their social skills. So you have those that are mild, and they're functioning, and they're going to work, and they have jobs, and they're going to college and doing wonderful things. They have families. Then you have those that are moderate. They need a little bit more assistance, and then those that are severe, and so the ones that are severe, usually they have severe speech delays, and they are dependent, like my son Noah. He's on the severe level of being autistic, and so it's a spectrum, and so you see a lot of different variations of what we see, but the numbers are out there. We're seeing, autism 1 in 56, I think, is now the incidence, and it's more prominent in, of course, males versus 1 out of it's a 4 times higher percentage of males versus females, and it doesn't, there's no socioeconomic, it affects every community, everyone, but they do believe there's a genetic association with those patients who have autism. They do believe there's something genetic going on, which is why I always recommend patients get a genetic screen done if we diagnose
That was my next question.
Yes, we do, because quite a few of them may have a genetic disorder. My son actually has a genetic disorder, and he also has seizures, and he has some other things things GI wise. And so when we did the test, he has a very rare genetic disorder, but autism is one of the findings in that genetic disorder. So I highly encourage parents to get a genetic test done so they can see, is this a genetic test or what is it?
Right.
So that is something we do recommend, but you know, it's multifactorial. So it's not just one thing, but it's definitely not the vaccines that causes autism.
Absolutely.
So I have to make sure
Please say
it is
that.
not
the vaccine.
Not the vaccines. Vaccines do not cause autism, and you know, unfortunately, there was a doctor that put that out there and published something. Yes, he retracted it, but once you put something out there, it's out there, and you're going to have every mom jump on top of that. But that was false information that he put out there. So parents were not vaccinating their children. They were saying the MMR vaccine was causing autism, and that is completely false. There is absolutely no association with vaccines and autism, but they believe it's multifactorial. So there's a lot of different things, but definitely some kind of genetic component that causes how the brain develops. And you'll see there's difference between the gray matter, white matter in the brain, but there's something that gets turned on and causes those symptoms to appear.
Well, just out of the blue, what is it that causes autism? And then I'm learning that the different levels of it. What is it that really cause it?
They
don't know.
They don't know. They're doing lots of studies still to see what happens in the brain when that child is developing.
Right.
That turns on certain genes to appear, and it's not always there. You know, you don't always see it right at birth. Sometimes the child is developing just fine. They're talking, and then there's a regression where the child is no longer talking.
Right.
The child starts to regress, and sometimes we see that. Sometimes it's a matter of they just never progress.
Right.
So we don't know, but there's a lot of research, and that's why, you know, Autism Awareness Month is about, you know, of course, bringing awareness and acceptance, but also, you know, trying to raise funds to make sure we can continue to do the research needed to really identify what's going on. Because it is. I mean, but there's a lot of, you know, FSU, I work with FSU College of Medicine, and they have a big research department over in Tallahassee, you know, working on this. And so they're working on trying to identify what it is, because if we can identify what it is, can we prevent it? Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So I want to say that to all the parents again, and please make sure you get your child tested.
Yes.
Take that child and have them call on Dr. Hall.
Yes, definitely give me a call.
She will do it for you.
Yes,
I mean,
at the
her
airport.
information is on the screen, how you can get in touch with her to get your child tested. And please, if you've got questions for her today, Jen, I hope I'm working this iPad right. I don't know, but if you want to text us, you can call us as well.
Yes.
I mean, text us as well at that same number, 850-432-7768. But you know, when you got information like this right there at your hand and it's accessible, take it.
Yes, definitely.
Use
here.
it. I mean, she's here. She is so knowledgeable.
Thank you.
I mean, why not take advantage of it right now? And I think also with the fact that with your passion and your heart, because of Noah, and I love to call what you call it.
Yes, he's my sweet baby. He's my heart.
Exactly. But you see, please do the right thing and get the information you need, because the resources are there.
They are. They are.
But you got to take advantage of them.
You do.
Let's just give a quick synopsis of how they can do that again, so how they can get the resources they need. Call her number one.
Yes,
and,
you can call me, definitely. Or if you're not comfortable, of course, if you have a pediatrician that you trust, you know, contact your pediatrician. I mean, again, that 18-month well checkup is when every pediatrician is going to be screening your child. But if you miss the 18-month well checkup, we're going to try to get them at that 2-year checkup or whenever we see them again in the office. But we are doing the screenings on every child, regardless of what, you know, their abilities are. They're going to get screened for autism. And if you, after that 2-year visit, or if you, for whatever reason, the child regressed, like they were doing those things and now they're not.
Right.
And you're like, wait, he's not talking anymore. He's not.
Oh, really? It happens like that?
It can happen like that. If you see a regression at any point, you know, you need to definitely reach out to your pediatrician and ask about getting screened. If your child is not giving you the good eye contact, if you have a 6-month-old who's not giggling with you, who's not cooing with you, who's not showing eye contact that early, you know, if you see that they're, you know, not pointing, they're not doing certain things like other children in their daycare class, if they're playing by themselves versus playing with the other children, if they have repetitive behaviors. I'm not saying that every child who rocks has autism, But, you know, if you see they're rocking when, you know, they're trying to soothe themselves, you know.
So I noticed you say rocking. So is that a way of?
That's a way, what we call stemming. And so children, when they do that, either they're trying to process, you know, they're either getting overstimulated or they're understimulated. And so by rocking, either they're getting the stimulation that they're seeking or they're feeling overstimulated. And by doing that, it's calming them down.
Oh, wow.
So stemming, sometimes you'll see them hand clapping, you know, and my son does this a lot, and he'll just kind of just get up, he'll just take off running. So a lot of them, you know, when they're feeling overstimulated, you know, they need to do something. They can't just sit still. And so you'll see these repetitive behaviors, you know, when they're trying to either calm themselves down or they're bored and they're like, I need some stimuli. So they'll just start producing it on their own. So it's self-stemming is what it is. And so we see that a lot of times.
Do they speak? I mean,
most children do. So if they're on the mild or moderate degree of autism, then a lot of them will have communication skills. If they're on the severe, like my son, they may be nonverbal. But he does have a device that he has that helps him to communicate. And so his communication device, he can point to a button and it can actually help him communicate. And then if you think about it, these children, they understand.
That's where I'm going.
They can't speak, but does he understand what I'm saying? Yes. And I think a lot of times we assume, oh, he doesn't understand what I'm saying. And so you want to make sure you still talk to them. Make sure you still communicate with them. He may not be able to verbalize what he's thinking, but he understands what you're saying. And so we say speak to them just like you would any other child. And if they have a device, they can communicate back with you. And a lot of children qualify for that. If you go through a speech therapist, you can qualify. Insurance pays for it.
Get the device that they need.
Yes. So, but you have to make sure you go through a speech therapist who can, you know, do the testing to make sure, yes, this device is in his best interest, it's medically necessary, and they can get that device. But we recommend that they get into school early so they can start getting those therapies within the school system. I recommend IEPs so they can start school at age 3. Noah's been in school since he was 3 years old. So, and they can get those therapies early because early intervention does make a difference.
Wow, that's I was reverting back to a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine, and I didn't know it, but she said, no, I can't do that, Sunshine, because I got to take my son to the doctor because he's nonverbal. And I said, then it hit. And then when you touched that, I was like, okay, wow, that's amazing. But there's resources for everything.
There are resources.
So there's no
everything.
reason to say that you can't get it.
No, there are resources for everything, and most times insurance will cover those things as well. So you don't want to have to worry about, oh, how am I going to afford it? You know, and even Noah's bracelet that he wears, you know, a lot of times it's a battery that has to get changed once a month. But Autism Pensacola and the Scamby Search and Rescue, they take care of changing that battery out. So we have the community resources. So if ever he does wander off or elope is what we refer, where they just, and he's done it one time. We found him, but it was a scary event.
Of course.
We were on vacation, and Noah loves elevators. He loves, you know, and they get fixated on certain things. That's his thing, elevators. If you see the elevator, he's
push
on
that
it.
button, I'm ready.
He will be up and down, up and down. He just likes the feel of riding up and down elevators. And so we found him on the elevator, just going up and down. But that bracelet was on, and so we were like, we knew, you know, we can find him if we needed him. And so we would just call the number, and they would find him. So
that's absolutely great. So everybody, listen, I'm so into this information I'm receiving. Look, we're going to take a break, but we're coming back with Dr. Hall. We're going to talk even more right here. Remember, you can be a part. 850-432-7768. Text or call. Get your question answered right here today. Sunshine on Blab TV. Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel for all of your menwear needs.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with the powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m. Hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Hi, my name is Brett McCabe. This is my wife Tanya, and we're the owners of Pensacola AC and Auto Service Center.
From the moment you walk in the door, we are here to take care of you. Honesty and excellence are the standard of our team. Our goal is to give you peace of mind from oil changes to AC repair. All of our repairs come with a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. We have a clean, welcoming waiting room with free Wi-Fi. When you leave here, you will have peace of mind. Come visit us and experience auto repair from people who care.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in the city. We're talking about Sonshine's Corner, the greatest show that ever touched down in the Gulf Coast. And it is your information link. And I tell you, this hour has been absolutely filled with information. And we're not done yet because we've got another guest coming in. It's going to be talking with us about some things that the young people are doing in the city. Miss Brandy Williams has joined us with the Red Diamonds. Thank you for joining with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
But I tell you, I got to go back and get a close-up with Dr. Hall. I want to say thank you because that information we've shared today is absolutely phenomenal. And I believe that information, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
And once you get that knowledge, don't just hold it.
Right.
Use it.
Yes.
You know, that's why this knowledge was given to you today. She took the time to come by to tell you all about what you can do as far as when it's autism, the signs to look for, the ways to get in touch, to get the resources that you need to make sure that your child or your children are being taken care of.
Exactly.
And I can't thank you enough.
Well, I can't thank you enough, Sonshine, for hosting me and for having this information during Autism Awareness Month. And I want to present you with a candle, and it's beautiful. It was hand poured by a local African American business, one of my classmates from Booker T. Washington High School, Miss Tina Newton, and it's from Peace and Soul Candles. And the name of it is beautiful to remind you just how beautiful you are and to thank you for everything you do in our community. And so thank you so much for having us today and for having this information on autism.
Thank you. And we're going to continue to do that because information, we got to get it out there and people got to know where to get it. But thank you very much. Thank you. Now let's move on over because I know that you are here. My girl Tabitha Fields couldn't be here today. She couldn't get out, but she said I'm going to send my administrative assistants to talk to you today about the Red Diamonds.
Yes, ma'am. The Pensacola Red Diamonds Incorporated.
Oh, wait, she said, oh, the Pensacola. And you know, look, I got to say this because Dr. Grier, she's a Delta.
Yes.
And I mean, Tabitha is a Delta. Are you a Delta too?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
We are not Delta affiliated. A lot of people think we are because we are red, but no, we're not.
Really? But I mean, like, you know, you guys, I mean, how you do it, Dr. Grier?
Right, but you are not supposed to do it, Sunshine. But that's how we do it.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Lord. But now tell us about the Red Diamonds. What do you all got coming up? Tell me the history of it, how you got started.
The Red Diamonds was founded in 2015. It was an idea that Ariel Fields, Tabitha's daughter, founded. She just wanted to start a step team. And we're not a dance team. We are a step team. She wanted to get a group of girls together and start a step team. Tab initially said no. But she gave in, and that's how the Red Diamonds was founded. The Red Diamonds were founded, I think it started at about 15 girls. In 2017, they had about 38 girls. On our roster last year, we had 83 girls.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am. We've
really?
grown. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we pride ourselves on focusing on mental health for the girls because in this day and age, especially with our little girls are lost in the music, trying to keep up with the TikTok trends, trying to keep up with everything that social media does. So we try to bring them back down to let them know, you know, this is reality, and you know, let's focus on the reality and to keep them strong and let them know that they have someone else they can go to. And you know, we pray together, we eat together, we bond together, we actually have a sisterhood.
I got you. And I love something she said there, Dr. Hall, said that about that mental issue to keep the kids right, you know?
Yes, ma'am. It's hard. It's tough being a kid.
Today it is. It's so much more difficult compared to when we were younger.
Right.
With social media
and peer pressure.
And peer pressure.
Wow.
It is.
Oh, so with the girls, I applaud you and Tabitha for holding this together.
Yes,
Ariel, I've known her since she was a little kid.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
what I'm saying is, though, with the social media, how it is today, and I think that it's this image that's portrayed that all these young girls think that they're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Well,
And that's not real.
And we don't keep up that image.
Okay.
We get people compliment us all the time on the way our girls are dressed. Our girls' demeanor, their morals. Our girls are respectful. People tell us all the time they look good. We've had several balls. Back in December, we had a night in white where our seniors were presented with their senior jackets, and it gives the girls the opportunity to dress up and look like a princess, and they're presented by their dads or a father figure in their life. They're crowned, and it's not like a debutante ball, but it's just something to show them that it's more to life than the little dresses and the showing of everything. And, it's more to life than that.
I understand. Now, when you say that you are educating them on these issues that the young people are trending with today, how is it that you keep them focused not to take on every little trend that you see? Because sometimes kids can have that app that we can think that they are. But how do you keep them focused with their education? Are they good in their grades? Are they keeping that?
We stay on them.
Okay.
We actually check. Our girls have to turn in their report cards. We check social media. We talk to their parents. We talk to our girls.
Okay.
It's not like, they come to practice and they just practice and they leave. You wouldn't believe the text messages or the phone calls. We have personal relationships with these girls. It's not 83 girls that come in and we know absolutely nothing about.
83?
I can tell you their shirt size, their pant size, their shoe sizes. We actually talk to our girls. Our girls know us. We know them.
Okay. Because I'm just going to be real. I've seen some of these little groups. They could be dropping like it's hot.
Oh, we don't drop. We don't.
No.
You won't see us dropping it like it's hot.
Because I just think when with children today, with the younger people, and I like the fact that you have the balls and you are educating them that way. But I'm also thinking about the fact that even with those who join the group, what are the qualifications to be a part of this group? What do you separate from some children? You allow some in, you don't allow others in?
We actually have a tryout. We do have a tryout. We originally started at 4. We're no longer accepting 4-year-olds because we have about 40 kids between the ages of 4 and 8, and that is kind of giving out a hand. So we're starting from 8 to 17, and we have a tryout. The tryout consists of a step. You have to learn a step, you have to learn a stroll, and then you come back and try out. I think our last tryout we had 66 girls try out, and I think about 30 made the team.
Wow.
And it's hard, it's hard because you don't want to let everybody down, but we encourage them to come again, try it again, work at it, and but if we allow everybody to be, we will be the stepping 100 in a little while.
You close.
So, we are pretty close. So we do have them come try out. Somebody asks us every day, how can I get my girls on the team? But we're having our next tryout 2025 because next year will be our 10-year celebration. So we're going to have a big celebration next year. We're planning on doing a carnival. We're planning on having a big ball next year again. We're going to skip the ball this year because the Diamonds are doing Disney in June.
Okay.
We're taking the girls to Disney World.
Okay. Question. If you got 84 members, how many instructors do you have? Because that's a lot of kids.
So,
and you got all different personalities.
Yes.
Honestly, coach-wise, we have 3 coaches.
And 84 students.
We have a staff.
Okay.
We have about 5 staff members, and everybody has a designated role, who does something. But coach-wise, we have 3 coaches.
Okay. Now, I have 2 kids of my own, grown, but I remember those years. Okay, especially with my daughter. You know how they go through this age, because you said through 17. When they get that little...
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that with all of these girls in this group, I'm just stepping outside the box and I'm asking these questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's something I think parents want to know if their kids if they want to be a part of it. Now I've got all these girls and I've got 5 instructors and I've got 84 girls from the age group of 10 to 17,
Yes,
and they're going through that puberty stage.
Honestly, the parents bring them to us.
How do you handle that? What are you doing to?
We talk to them.
Okay, but talking to them, and when they got that little attitude, and
listen. So honestly, kids are different with their parents.
But of course.
And sometimes
out there in the street, they're different too.
Correct. Sometimes when it comes to a parent, a child will shut down with their parent because when you're talking to your parent is yada 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 versus talking to somebody else. I'm a non-biased. You know, I am either right or wrong, yes or no. You know, I tell people it's not a gray area in right or wrong. It's either you're right or you're wrong, and you know you're right or you're wrong. I'm straightforward when I talk to the girls. You know you're wrong, right? Yes, ma'am, I know. Okay, fix it.
Do you encourage them to keep that line of communication with your parents?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You may not like what the parents are saying.
And you probably will never agree with what they're saying. However, that's your parent.
Right, but right, because you know, let me go to this. The Bible says,
yes,
the first commandment
yes, ma'am. Thou shalt
is to honor your mother and father.
And your days will be longer. Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, you're going to have your day shortened.
And we do church. We do worship service every second Sunday. The second Sunday of this month, we just went to Greater Little Rock Baptist Church. So we do worship service together as well.
With these people at this age, now I'm going to ask the hard questions. At that age, right, we're going to church, we're going through puberty, we've got this little head on, I've got this thought about thinking, with these 5 coaches, 84 students, how is it that you are grasping on to each individual for what they're dealing with? So sometimes they can fool a lot of us. I'm just being real because I know how it is with young girls. And I applaud you, Tabitha, for what you've done and with your team. But what I'm saying is with the kids, sometimes you have to get a little deeper and make sure that parent is inclusive in that when you're talking to them.
Absolutely. So honestly, dealing with these girls, we deal with these girls every week. You know when something is going on with these girls. You might say, oh, they just have an attitude. No, something is wrong. So let me pull you to the side. Come talk to me. What's going on? Nothing is going on. Yes, it is. Come talk to me.
What kind of things you deal with that they're dealing with?
Tell me what's the problem? You know, what is it? School? You know, at this age, is it a boy? You know, what's going on? You know,
are you
what's
teaching
the problem?
abstinence?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, we've had I don't care what somebody tells you. You know, I don't care if they tell you. You know, they won't like you if you do. They don't have to like you. You know what I mean? You know, your body is a temple, not a welcoming center. That's a conversation we actually had with the girls in a circle. Your body is a temple.
Right.
Your body is not a welcoming center.
I got you.
Your body is precious.
Of course.
That means don't give it to anybody.
Right.
Don't. Just wait.
Well, you know, I like that, the fact that you've got all these girls. 84, that's a lot.
It's
and
a lot.
I commend that to take on that. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
to
a lot.
take that on. And I've always been, even with my daughter, I would always talk to her. Now, my mother used to say, rest her soul, the reason why we butt heads so much because we were so much alike.
Yes, ma'am.
And, but yet still, I had this thing with her. And I would talk to her on things that were uncomfortable. And even when she'd get there, I said, no, love, let's go do this.
But you have to have uncomfortable conversations.
Absolutely. And I'm getting to a point is that with these young ladies, how is it that you're keeping them focused on their education? Number one, because without education, you can't do very much.
Absolutely. And without education, you can't participate in the team.
Okay. Is there a level of GPA?
Yes, ma'am. 2.0.
Okay. Is there a way? Do you have things that you can help tutor them with?
Absolutely. You know, Miss Tapp is a teacher, so she'll set up tutoring programs for them.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you guys, I'm filled with information. I'm filled with questions today. We're having a great time. We're at Dr. Hall and my girl Brandy, who's the administrative assistant there with the Red Diamonds. Don't go anywhere, but if you've got questions, want to find out how you can get your child involved, you can call us up at 850-432-7768, or you can text us at that same number. We'll be back with more information for you right here, Sunshine's Corner and Blab TV.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Do you want to create but don't know where to start? Our new fabric line will inspire you. If you can dream it, we can help you make it. From using kits that include everything you would need, to taking classes to create something more personalized, Daryl's is the place for you. No matter if you're just beginning or experienced, Daryl's has you covered. Find us at 6705 North Davis Highway. Open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays.
The Reesburg Institute, Pensacola's ear, nose, throat, and voice center. We welcome you to visit us at our convenient Davis Highway location in Pensacola. At the Reesburg Institute, we offer the most advanced treatment available in a calm, stress-free environment. Since 2014, we've performed over 1,000 cases in office of balloon sinus surgery, as well as septoplasty and nasal procedures using oral sedation. The in-office procedures result in a faster healing time. Visit us and feel the difference.
Hello, my name is Eric, and this was my first visit to Little John's. The selection, the pricing here, and the customer service were outstanding. I would definitely recommend. The staff was very friendly, and they'll get you what you need.
Hi, this is John with Little John's Big and Tall here in Pensacola, Florida at 5700 North Davis Highway. Check us out at littlejohnsbigandtall.com, where we can take care of you with extra large up to 14X and large tall to 6X tall.
Honey.
I know, right?
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. That is Sonshine's Corner. I tell you, we had such a great conversation today with Dr. Grier Hall and, of course, Brandy with the administrative assistant for all these girls who are doing some fantastic work. And, you know, we were talking off screen about the interaction that you all do. I'm noticing here that you all have won awards.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything. I mean, you've won so many things. You've got first prize at the, what is this? First place at the Nook. What is that?
The Nook If You Buck. It was a contest in Mobile, Alabama, and we took all of the girls, 2 buses.
All 8 of them?
All of them. All of them went to Mobile, and we placed first. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God. I see other things because I look, Tabitha, I'm doing what I promised I'd do, okay? But Tabitha is my girl.
Yes.
I mean, we have
too.
been friends for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. But listen, I see all of these awards that you've won. The team has 2 groups. That's the Sparkles and the Diamonds.
Yes, the
Tell us how they can do that.
The Sparkles are our younger girls.
Right.
They age from 4 to 5th grade.
I got you.
They're what we call our Sparkles, and then we have our big girls who are 6th to 12th grade.
Okay. Now, something we were talking off screen about, you know, they are so into these devices.
Mm-hmm. Not at practice.
She said, not at practice. So how do you control that with all those girls?
So we have a parent that has a basket. And she stands at the door with the basket. Oh. And they already know when they see Miss Tutu, Miss Machelle with the basket.
Miss Tutu?
Yes, ma'am. To put the phones in the basket.
Okay.
By chance, if they miss the basket, if somebody calls, we will answer. Hello, hey, she's at practice. Typically, they laugh, you know, or they hang up, or you know what. But they.
Do you ever get a call back? I thought I had the wrong number.
No, but they know to put the phones. Even our younger girls, you know, they put the phones in the basket.
That's
because
good.
Everybody has a cell phone nowadays.
Absolutely.
Even the little kids have cell phones. But
Absolutely,
they know
and they are so knowledgeable how to make those things work.
Yes, they put the phones, the iPads, the headphones, everything goes in the basket.
How can they become? Tell the audience how, if it's something they would like to have their kids to get involved with the Red Diamonds, what's the process?
First of all, follow our Facebook page, Pensacola Red Diamonds Incorporated, and we will have tryouts in 2025. They're to be announced. We haven't come up with a date yet because we are planning our 10-year celebration.
Okay.
But we will have tryouts prior to our celebration.
Okay. Wow. Can I be a diamond? Look, Dr. Hall fell. She fell back and lost them.
You can come work with the diamond.
I just can't be the diamond.
Come work with the diamond. Let me tell you what you can do.
I can get this.
Because I know you like to exercise.
Yes, I do.
Come do an exercise group with us. Come do an exercise class with us.
Not a problem. Okay.
I think we can work
Are
that
you
out.
ready for a little sunshine?
Come do an exercise class
That
with the
would be
girls.
great.
And that exercise is wonderful. And I was just telling, I'm so happy that they're not on a device and they're moving, because we're trying to get our youth more active. And so this is perfect.
This is a perfect.
This is a perfect way.
At the start of practice, we have them do a line dance before the. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Really?
ma'am. So come do a practice with them.
No, just let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what the kids say. What's that lingo they use? Or something just ticks me up.
Yeah, hit me up.
All those acronyms.
Hit me
that,
up.
Yeah, hit me up.
Hit me up.
Tabitha, hit me up. But I thank you for stopping by to let us know about the diamonds, because I do follow you guys. You do a lot of community things. I saw you all doing the car wash this past weekend.
Yes, ma'am. We're planning a Feed the Homeless as well.
Okay.
We're planning it for sometime in June, so the girls will be out making sack lunches and feeding the homeless very soon.
Oh, now that's excellent. That is really good work.
That is wonderful.
That's wonderful. And I mean, keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you so much.
So when I do my Thanksgiving, I'm going to ask the diamonds to come by here serve.
The diamonds will be there.
Awesome.
Awesome, because I feed the community hot meals.
The diamonds will be there.
And you hear that, Tabitha? No, Bob. This is the administrative assistant. She said yes.
Yes.
But thank you for taking the time to come by to allow the community to know that you all are really alert. You're doing things to get these girls, keep them focused, and to just elevate them higher.
Yes, ma'am.
To let them
Thank you
know
so
they are
much.
queens within themselves.
Absolutely. Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Hull, I can't thank you enough. I tell you, I learned so much today about autism awareness, and with April being Autism Awareness Month, the things that parents need to do, the things they need to notice, and how all the resources that are there for the help. Give them a little quick synopsis, about a minute and a half, if you will.
Yes, definitely. Follow up with your pediatrician if you haven't. Reach out. If you have any concerns, ask, because you know your child better than anyone. And if you have concerns, talk with your doctor or come see me. I'm at Airport Pediatrics. I'll be happy to take care of any child in the community that may need health care. So it's one of those things we need to talk about and make sure the community is aware of. And so, so I thank you for bringing light to this subject today.
Oh, no, thank you, because I think, I always say that believe knowledge is power. And if you're guessing, that's not the knowledge you need. Make sure you get the real information from people who do it every day.
Yes.
And that's what you do to take care and to keep the community aware of what's going on. I thank you both for taking the time to stop in with me today, because like I said, this show is going to be all about community awareness, to make sure that our community is up on what we need to know so we can move to the next level. And I'm going to leave you, my dear friends, as I do each and every day. I always leave you with a thought. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. If you seek His ways, keep Him first, I'll guarantee you one thing, that you will be a total success. So until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for another day of Sunshine's Corner, I want you to know that I love you. I love you. I love you with a perfect kind of love. So all you got to do is just keep shining while I'm gone, and make sure that you give out that positive energy that's right there for everybody. Love you with a perfect kind of love until tomorrow morning. Step right back into Sunshine's Corner right here on Blab TV.